Democrats say that Republicans will deserve the blame if 160 million Americans do see a tax increase starting January 1st. Bloomberg's chief Washington correspondent Peter Cook is on Capitol Hill with the top Democrat on the House Budget Committee. Peter, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mark. I'm here with Representative Chris Van Hollen, the Democrat from Maryland, a point man for Democrats here on taxes and spending issues. Thanks very much for the time. As always, appreciate it.
Good to be with you.
Your reaction when you heard that Speaker Boehner and the Republicans were going to challenge this compromise worked out in the Senate?
I was absolutely floored because there had been an ongoing conversation between Speaker Boehner and Republican leader McConnell. We finally got a bipartisan compromise in the Senate, a majority of Republicans, a majority of Democrats. It was pretty clear that Speaker Boehner thought this was something that could come right through the House very quickly, make sure we got the payroll tax cut in place, and now he's obviously reversed himself. This is part of a pattern that we're seeing where Speaker Boehner allows the Tea Party wing of the caucus to sabotage these bipartisan agreements.
Now, I listened to the news conference this morning that he had. His message is, listen, 12 months extension. That's what the president wants. That's what Democrats have been talking about all the time. Why not just sit down and work with him and get that 12-month extension?
Well, we tried to get a 12-month extension, and we had a way to pay for it, too. We said that people who earn more than $1 million a year have to pay a surcharge. They would be paying less than they were during the Clinton administration when the economy was booming, and that would allow us to give payroll tax relief to 160 million Americans and make sure it was done in a deficit-neutral way. They said no to that, and so then you had this back and forth trying to make sure that at least in the short term, people didn't see their payroll taxes going up. Unfortunately, that is very much in jeopardy right now. I only see one way out of this that leads to a payroll tax cut beginning January 1st, and that's for the Speaker to bring that bill up on the floor of the House this evening and to make sure enough Republicans join with Democrats to get it done.
Do you think there's any possibility, given what he said about his opposition to it, the opposition of other House Republicans, that there could be some small group of Republicans join with Democrats that you actually could get the votes tonight to pass this 2-month compromise?
I think there is a chance. In fact, I think that's the only way we're going to make sure that a payroll tax cut happens beginning January 1st. And that's the way it should be. After all, this was a bipartisan compromise in the Senate. This has things in it that Democrats don't like. It has things in it that Republicans in the Senate didn't like. But they decided for the good of the country to come together. And now what you have in the House is the Tea Party Republicans pulling the rug out from under the Speaker. And the Speaker really needs to lead now. This is his opportunity to say, come on, guys, we need to get together for the good of the country and not allow the loudest group within his caucus and the most far-right extreme group within his caucus to sabotage the payroll tax cut.
You know, it's Republicans already standing up here and saying, listen, this is the Democrats playing politics. This is an issue you all like. The president gets to beat up on Republicans for the next 2 months. That's why this isn't a deal they can accept. You all would prefer this issue rather than a compromise.
Really? Was Mitch McConnell playing politics? Was the Senate Republican leader playing politics? Were the majority of Republicans in the Senate playing politics? You now have, as we're here, Senate Republicans, Senator Lugar, Senator Scott Brown of Massachusetts, calling upon Speaker Boehner and House Republicans to do the right thing. Again, a compromise by its nature has things that nobody likes and has some things that people know we need to get done. Let's get it done.
Should we take Senator Reid at his word, the Senate Majority Leader, that unless Republicans are willing to accept this 2-month compromise, that he will not bring Senate Democrats back to even negotiate this 12-month extension?
He's already negotiated an extension. That's what happened in the Senate. That's why a majority of Republicans supported it. Right now, you've got a situation where the Speaker's got to step up to the plate. He's got to demonstrate leadership. We all know that he had essentially signed off on this. He had said good things about it. There had even been an expectation among some of the House Republican leadership that they would take this up on a voice vote. They wouldn't even have to ask their people to come back and vote. That's how sure they were that this would be something that could pass the House. Now you've got, the opposite happening. It's really a moment for the Speaker to say, let's do the right thing for the good of the country. The Senate, Republicans and Democrats did it. Let's do it in the House.
There are some economists out there debating really what impact this would have on the U.S. economy at this particular moment if it wasn't extended, that maybe it's not that big an impact. What's your own sense as you talk to folks, economists who give you all advice about what the true impact would be if this went away?
Well, I know what the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office has said. They have said that it will mean there will be jobs lost. Other economists like Mark Zandi, who had advised Senator Senator McCain in the last presidential election, says it could mean 1 million jobs. So, look, there's a wide range of estimates, but all of them say jobs will be lost if we don't extend the payroll tax cut. It's kind of common sense, right? People have fewer dollars in their pockets. That means they're able to purchase less goods and services. That means small businesses and other businesses will be able to sell less goods and services. That means they hire less people. I mean, it's pretty straightforward how this would work, and I really hope that the Republicans in the House will not leave town without taking up and passing the Senate bipartisan compromise. If they don't, if they allow that to happen, it will mean jobs lost. If they allow the payroll tax cut to go away.
Congressman Chris Van Hollen, could be a late night for you this evening. Some votes this evening on this particular piece of legislation, the latest from here on the Hill.